election meeting is now called to order. Wednesday, October 1st, 9:30. Mr. What's that we call it, please?
Good morning. Roll call, Mr. Lever, Annenberg, here. Mr. Roland Molinaro. Mr. Roland Molinaro. Lizaris Morning. Mr. Juliana Belado. Mr. Rupert W. Ross. Mr. Kevin. Mr. Raymond J. Williams. Chairman of one. 5 members present.
Okay, well,
So, Mr. Chair,
yes, sir.
point of information relative to the agenda, I see under old business, the information related to the status of the equipment. I saw in the supervisor's report that that information is addressed there. So, I am thinking that we can either wait for the report or we can remove that item, or either we can deal with it now and dispense with the formal report.
Well, it depends on how far we get information because if it's talking to the speaker, she will tell you it's coming. So the vote will really have a full and quick.
So based on the supervisor's report, it says that the estimated shipping date is October 15th, it's in our report, so.
And remember what we had said when we had it on that it's going to be by October. So now what shipping date, so the delivery date is somebody off the premise. If you want to skip that in the premises fast to get to us, we'll be able to have a problem.
Yeah, I would think that we should just let her report anything on report one time.
Well,
I mean, it doesn't make a difference one way.
No,
We can dispose of it. Let's just go ahead, let's dispose of it now. Let's go ahead.
so since you want to consult, we just skip it and go to the...
No, let's just continue with that.
Okay. The status of military equipment needed to supply to November 4th. So report in the election. So I guess we have to wait until we start to fill out in our report.
The supervisor said,
Yeah.
Some here, good morning.
Who's critical here?
The equipment was ordered, again, we talked to them yesterday. The projected date of arrival for everything except the sip and pop is the 15th of October.
is it shipping? What do you, I'm sorry.
Except the sip.
No.
Arrival here projected for the 15th of October.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
Okay.
Except the sip and pop is back ordered. It's going to be here in a little later in October. That's the only thing that's going to be outstanding.
The
Sip and pop.
is definitely going to be here
But ending of
the
October.
whole election.
Yeah, correct. So we had two companies we are dealing with, and both of them are very receptive to us, and they're trying to get here as quickly as possible. One company said we're clearing out their warehouse, so they are getting it to us. We're based on the shipping companies.
And what about the ballot boxes?
That's on back order. She's going to give us a date. We have a teleconference tomorrow to follow up on that. She said she'll get here by the ending of October. It's going to be close. So we have to have a plan B just in case. But I know the board would like to get the additional blue boxes, so that's the important.
Question. Just to clarify, what exactly are we,
Before we go any further, Mr. Ross,
can you tell us exactly what we're expecting on the 15th? So that way we'll know what we're expecting versus what we're not. Because I thought when you said the 15th, that meant everything except the second part. So what
No,
are
that's
we?
ES&S. You're talking about ES&S items is different than these two companies that we dealt with. The list that he projected,
Every single item on the list, except for the SIP and PUF. Because including the SIP and PUF was the election source. So it's everything on the list, every single item, the boots, this and that, everything, with the exception of the, obviously, ES&S.
except ES&S stuff.
And ES&S is ballot boxes.
Ballot boxes and some jump drives, and I think some seals.
Yeah.
And they have protective shields. We have seals and shields. But now we got a proposal in front of you that a company in St. Thomas could do those shields. that's how they look at the machine, I should make it smaller. Mr. Williams, those stuff on the table. That was from ESNS. Also, when we talk about $15 for a set, and they wasn't gonna put the seals on them. If they did seals, it would have been $30, which we didn't look at. But now St. Thomas find a company, St. Thomas, that could do it. And that's that company, St. Thomas and Cool Signs, or whatever the names are. So that's a draft, kind of, doing two on the side instead of one for each. But those gonna cost the same thing, $39 by the time they're finished, because you say at least you save shipping, and the money stays in the economy here. So we have to order, it's a set of 2 for each machine.
Okay, let me get that.
This is a proposal.
This is 1 per side.
Yes,
Okay, now you're saying it costs a set
$39.
per set with the emblem on it?
Yes.
Without the emblem, how much it cost?
I think they're gonna go.
And what are we paying for the ones that I think was a part of our package? That
No,
was,
for ESNS, it was $15 each without the seal, but then you still had shipping. So
I want to say each of me 1 per
Set.
side. I said $15. I said. So
it
without
was $30 with a seal. But then they would have to make them, because that was cost worthy for them to make 40, 50 something machines, that's how we have. For the big companies, you get a value. So they went to St. Thomas and looked, but I'm saying, I know they went with a seal proposal, so I'll have to see without the seal proposal.
So we haven't ordered this stuff.
No, that's St. Thomas, it could be done in St. Thomas in a couple days.
But this was a part of the package that was submitted to be ordered.
From ESNS, it was recommended from ESNS. So if we don't want, we could let them know we don't want that from them, we could get it here locally.
I'm saying, wait, forgive me, but I said about the company. The package that was submitted for items to be purchased, these were included
To
initially.
ESNS, correct.
And you're saying that, so ESNS hasn't, they have them available, but not with the seal, that's what you're saying.
They're black.
So you're waiting for a disposition and the voters to,
Because St. Thomas proposal is this, so now your meeting is now, yes, so that's why I'm bringing this to you now. They just met on it last week.
can I double the cost?
Well,
I mean, I believe it's supposed to look at, but I don't believe in a doubling of the cost.
Well, just, if you want to seal it or not, if you just turn them around, they don't know who they're gonna answer. That's a good decision.
No, we do that, that's it. Thank you.
Any other question? You know, in fact, I think when this board met, we approved one thing. I don't know where the authority came to. Can you take something else?
No, I'm just showing what was proposed.
Firstly, we approved a particular equipment. So, was this anyone involved in the proposal you have?
I believe so, I can't remember.
No, these things from the
Not this, no. But I believe there's a set like it, but not that one specific.
What happened to the shield that's come behind us? You know the shield, the tile shield?
Those are from the elections, those are,
What happened to
I
those?
believe those are on.
No.
You're talking about,
Different from there.
what he's talking about, there's a tile black shield for the DS200 instead of those shields. That's what he's speaking about.
I'm going to look at the picture. And that is, was protective shield, we sent it to ESNS. The ones from ESNS is half size like that, and it was black. So that's what was on the list.
That could not have been on it because this board, the first time I seen that,
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying the black ones that ESNS sent.
whatever they sent is not what we had on our list. We sat here and we approved with him coming to us, sitting right there, and he said, only what we have here, nothing. So how is something that's coming back?
I'm not saying that's something else. I'm saying shield was shields. It's black shields from ESNS, the same size and color. This is St. Thomas proposal. ESNS only send black shields half color. When you see the tall ones that you're talking about.
That's St. Thomas proposal. Wait a second, the board of St. Thomas?
That should be on the letter. I want to try those.
Yeah, that's not a perfect, but at least one is some additional. Nobody wanted, still wanted additional panels.
But if we have this,
We don't, we should say the need for that. Okay, that makes, I mean, that's something.
You see, the thing is that we are doing something, and somebody says it should have St. Thomas. I have nothing to do with everyone. We approve a package, and we sat here and agree with it. Nobody cannot come and switch it on to the class St. Thomas one. That's what I'm trying to say. But that's what you bring in. That wasn't involved with no way in it.
But on the ESNS list, there was those type of shields. So that's why.
You didn't, Mr. You didn't put shit.
That's the But it's done. I
Chairman,
finished with it.
Chairman, I think we're wasting time on this because I understand that this is right from Ms. Thomas' proposal. We don't have to accept it because we already accept what we submitted.
Yep.
So let's move on.
No, that's not what she's saying.
That's what I
She's
understand.
saying that St. Thomas, somebody in St. Thomas proposed to make all of them so we can use instead of what we selected already. So St. Thomas got another set, even that was not on the original one, Mr. Terrell, Mr. Volkins got the whole group we approved. I know the money we had was for this kind of private station. That's what we have paid. And that was in the letter. I didn't see any vote taken with this vote to change anything. The board voted to accept what we selected, and that's why I'm afraid of it. I don't care who is in Thomas saying to propose something. As soon as somebody wants to propose something, we just go along with it. We voted for a particular set of equipment, and that's what we voted.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
The other item under old business is also, I can see that's also addressed in the supervisor's report. So that we just want to go into the, amend the agenda to just go into the supervisor's report to dispose of all of those issues, because there's quite a few items on the new business that is also in the supervisor's report. So we might as well, I move that we add the agenda and make what is known as item 4, old business, and switch, change the agenda to make item number 5, down number 4, and make item C, A, so we change 4 to 5, and under 5, item C specifically now becomes item A, so move.
You have a secretary report. We voted on to be the first thing after that. We move in the secretary report after this now. That's what everybody wanted for the last time.
Well, okay, well,
Yeah, that's what we're
Yes,
for, but we're
yes.
just amending this particular agenda.
well,
Notwithstanding
right.
the other law. We consider this agenda to reorder it. It's not what we voted before.
remove this, let's just remove
Listen,
it.
I am in pain.
And that's why I'm trying to move it.
I
out.
don't have time to be wasting here, so since you all have a quorum, we're gonna continue wasting time, I would leave.
Let's just,
Okay, before you leave, right?
wait,
I want to put on the record that Moorhead is here.
Thank you.
Okay?
Let's remove it.
There's 7 people until Mr. Lado get up and says she's sick over.
But I'm not saying I'm sick, I said I'm in pain.
You ain't the only one in pain. Now in pain sitting right
Then
now.
both of us could leave, you know.
Anyway,
tough it
okay,
out.
second.
Then you jump on a board, you tough it out like everybody else.
I'm gonna withdraw my motion.
Okay, motion was second, you won't call it.
No, I'm withdrawing
I
the
will drop my
motion.
section, now let's move on.
Yeah, but that's it. Yeah. We'll dispose of it. Yes, sir.
Secretary report. See the choice second. Motion was withdrawn. Next item on the agenda. Secretary report.
Now, you still got 2 items on the whole business.
Well, that time left was the start with insurance.
The camera?
Well, somebody was asked about the camera, the last saw a camera here, it wasn't working. Came here, and I don't think that's a good camera. I don't know how he would get these people to just drop anything on us, think it's a hurry. When I asked about the camera, Ms. Whitaker said it's coming and be here. When it came here, right in top of Mr. Ross's, the frame was bent, so it couldn't be used, straight on the end of that. And that's not a new camera. So I want to know if we're just serious about things and we just make, we do what we want, because we put up with here. I need somebody to tell us this morning, what is the status of that so-called new camera we got with Expo? Don't put that up. It's facts of the
The camera was added from Blockbuster. It was going to be a used camera. We learned that these cameras are not made anymore. That's why we couldn't get one and can't get parts for the numbers that we had. And we're going to a new camera system at the end of the year. So the camera came in, yes, it was damaged, and we're working with Blockbuster to get it back to them. They did not insure it, so he has nothing to get for it. Again, it was a used camera that was sent here. So that's the status.
So the camera been sent back to Blockbuster.
No,
So we storing it here for them now.
we contacted them so they could get it back to them.
It's a digital camera.
No.
No, the camera is one outside.
One to not one was outside.
Oh, okay. Well, we get that digital camera in December.
December, January.
Well, this was sent to make the report.
Okay, we had 3 meetings and
What about SFC?
One of us started with weekend finance, and the budget was just passed. We have not heard anything on the general election, and then there's status in a copy of the letter that I sent is in your package for 420,000. So I have to speak to my project analyst, who's part of Morris today. It usually takes a couple days in October before you get the next year's budget. So we'll see what was proposed for us in the next.
$420,000.
That's what I requested, based on what we talked about at the last meeting.
And that's for the election.
For the election.
But the budget was passed at 1.4 million.
1.4 and then 80,000 for the board.
So we satisfied with the orders.
I just have a point of contribution. I'm not clear as to what we did with the item E.
What we did with item A is the fact that stuff that we added to be by the 50 except the step on top. And that the boxes, the new boxes, the years 200 is an back order.
I apologize. My question
Unless
is,
you just grab those things, saying that some companies and them making a proposal that we can do, and those things were not in our original proposal we voted. We wanted what we had done, that's what we voted. If somebody going to change it, we need to be notified before they change it. It's like the board make a decision, and the employees of the board change what we do. So then they just start at the front of us here and say that's what they want to do.
so the status is that we are proceeding with
Or original.
seeking our original.
Yes, sir.
We're not. Okay, I just want to.
Any other question? Mr. Secretary of the Report.
we had 3 meetings in September. District meeting was on September 3rd. And they were at Court. What to think about it? One of the biggest crucial mysteries is why we don't like our own. Got this from Stanley Jacobs of Stanley and Stephen Smith. Monthly district meeting of the St. Croix District Board of Elections was called to order at 9:15 by Chairman Brad. All 7 members were in attendance. Staff, the election system staff and board staff present were Mrs. Caroline Fox, supervisor of elections, Ms. Debbie Whitaker, deputy supervisor of elections.
Which report you reading from? What date?
September 3rd. September 3rd. And Mr. Perez Alexander, admin assistant to secretary. Others present were Mr. Marvin Form, the State Action Group, Ms. Julie Liber, concerned citizen, Mr. Scott Liber, concerned citizen, Mr. Leroy Liber, concerned citizen, Ms. Taj Matamara, Ms. Evelyn Bosco, Mr. Wendell Harris, and Ms. Erica Parks. First motion was made by Member Harris Moorhead, seconded by Chairman Brand. Moved to accept the minutes as read. Motion passed unanimously without objection. Next motion was made by Member Harris Moorhead, was seconded by Member Webster. Moved to accept the administrative assistant's report as read. Motion passed unanimously without objection. Next motion was made by Member Bernardo O'Neill, seconded by Member Webster. Moved that resign at the SNS and address the joint board meeting on Friday, September 5th, 2014. The motion passed with members Harris, Moorhead, and Ross abstaining. Next motion, made by member Williams and seconded by member Mullen. Move that during the expo on September 27, 2014, the fee for replacement ID be waived. Motion passed unanimously with the question. Next motion was made by member Williams, seconded by member Colorado. Move to host the expo on September 27, 2014 in the St. Croix District offices between the hours of 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. To include the following activity: registration, workshops on campaign disclosure, music, civic organizations with artwork, and participate in the event. Again, the fee for replacement ID. Motion passed unanimously with the question. Next motion was made by member Williams, seconded by member Kennedy. Move to accept the supervisor's recommendation of $400,000 for St. Croix District budget. Motion passes unanimously with the question. Next motion made by member Williams, seconded by member Warner. Move to consolidate Charles H. Emmanuel Elementary School into St. Croix Educational Complex and St. Gerard's into Clark and Walker for the same reason. Motion passed unanimously with the question. Next motion was made by member Harris Moorhead, seconded by member Williams. Move to waive the reading of Mrs. Collado, the news report in lieu of a brief summary. Motion passed with members Bryan and Mullen dissenting. Next motion was made by member Williams and seconded by member Ross. Move to accept the dates for registration and registration. Motion passed unanimously by objection. Next motion was made by member Ross and seconded by member Warner. September 8, 2014, emergency board meeting.
Mr. Chief, yes, sir. Before we move to the next minute, can we address this one?
Sure.
Clarity. On the second page, the second motion, the supervisor's recommendation of $400,000 for the St. Croix Board District or for the conduct of the general elections. But I don't recall exactly. It seems to be, since these are permanent records, if someone wants to look at it. So this should it have said for the conduct of the general election?
Through the chair, to the supervisor, based on the comment of member Ross, the recommendation was for the general election.
Yes.
And technical amendment to strike towards St. Croix District budget and in its place with general election budget.
Yes, sir.
One more. The second motion from the bottom, it says move to accept basic registration and demonstration. I believe that it should further say as submitted or was recommended by the Terrell using its title. But it doesn't basically say what we accepted. That's submitted by the board administrative assistant.
What were your,
Second motion on the bottom, row.
Any objection?
and
Hearing none of the two motions, so the quorum, yes, sir.
I was just gonna add, can you, on the very first page, the third motion, where you forgot the name of the person? The name of the ballot design person, the SMS.
Okay.
First you what? No, I thought you had to discuss, you had it.
The who?
The guy name.
Can, I believe that, click on the vice president, engineer, and the SMS, or that design engineer. The name is the same. No, the name is Ken.
My recommendation, if I may, is that we use this title, the Vice President of Engineering, a ballot design and BSNS. So, at least
Caraballero or something.
Yeah, I think so.
we know who he's talking about.
Caraballero. Carbullio. Here. Caballero.
And one last technical amendment. On the last motion on the second page. To the writing. On the last motion on the second page, where it says Member Ross, I guess moved and seconded by Member Molyneux. That motion would not to increase our stipend. That motion was to adjourn.
Say motion was to adjourn, not to increase the stipend.
It doesn't say what the motion is.
Right, that other statement.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
So any other adjustment, correction, technical, otherwise, any objection to other than the four present?
Question.
Yes, sir.
Correction, the last motion was to move the director supervisor to us.
Secure the building, secure the building by September 17th
Oh, that's the
or
one.
the 18th. That was the last one, right?
To secure the building?
Yeah.
What do you mean, secure the building?
Make sure that that.
Oh.
The backward and.
Well, that's a substantive
Yeah,
motion.
that is a really something.
I stand corrected. Please, let the minutes reflect that.
Yeah, the guy going somewhere.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
We done? We done.
Yes, sir.
Um,
Finished, so what's that?
Question through this, can you give us a status on that, or is that the report?
Security building, what do you want me to look into the security system that was proposed? Okay, we did do some additional security to the two doors in the back. security system, we have to look into it based on our budget, what we get this fiscal year. So that's the next one. Talked about putting a camera where I think the machines were, or the voting, going to take place. And that, I think that was part of the discussion, right?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was part of the discussion.
There was discussion about placing a camera in the room with the guest of residence when there's other here, so you can actually see people
But-
going to the guest of residence in the back, where the doors are in the back door put the big glass. And nobody don't know when you get who's in there.
Yeah,
Because
but,
in the back of the building there, one day we went back and push it open, because the hole in the ground, and that's a slim hole, and it was there to get it, but we went ahead and got the spots, and so we got, get the view from the last one there, and they put 2 locks to the back, somebody can't get in because someone shouldn't get in there, and they tried the door, so they didn't interfere in anything, because they didn't get it, rather waiting until they got inside, they put the 2 locks on the door. Not even across the street.
But in doing some research with the issue with the early voting and camera, usually it's not recommended that cameras are in places where voting is conducted. So that's not going to be acceptable. In fact, places that have camera, turn them off or cover them when they're using that as a voting site for early voting. So I have to get the rest proposal to you and then follow that to you.
But is it
It's a cost.
to turn them out during the process or just period, not have it period?
No, he was talking about in this conference room for the early voting.
Right.
And I'm saying that's not recommended.
Yeah, but
So
I think you were saying, if I'm not mistaken, not during the process of the early voting, but like in the evenings and stuff.
That's on what her recommendation was. She was saying.
We will look into it to see the cost and whatnot based on our budget, what we
Okay.
get from the.
So the bottom line is what?
In other words, when you have the voting, you turn the camera off, and it, except that when you shut the building, you make sure that no one goes around it. Years to 100, you can see.
That is what I was trying to clarify, but that's what I'm hearing Ms. Fox saying is that she has to look into the budget decision in period. Yeah, that's what.
The next item.
So it is, I'm sorry. The position that we're discussing is that during the voting site, during the period of voting, there will be no cameras in the room, no functioning cameras in the room. So that's a legal, federal issue. But after the voting is over, the camera will be turned on
To monitor
the security of the site.
That's not what I'm hearing.
That's what I heard.
I heard that she's looking into the budget to see if she can.
I know, but that's a
Yeah,
different
that's
issue.
additional.
Okay.
He's talking about
I'm
method of
I got you.
I'm talking about the method how it's used.
Good.
We can't use a camera to see when people are voting.
Gotcha.
I think it's a shame.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda would be Mr. Terrell. I'm not sure.
You didn't finish.
You finished?
Two more meetings.
You say no, that's it.
No.
He said these down on September 3rd. Motion,
Motion, go
I
ahead.
move that we waive the reading of the rest of the minutes. We don't have to follow.
I second.
Move on second, any objection? Roll call.
There's no objection.
I objected because.
Oh, you did, I
See
did.
what I'm just now? That's what she not saying, that's it. We changed the information.
I did.
Amber, Brian,
No,
Ronald Molina. Yes. With Lee Harris, Moran.
Yes.
special classes, waive the reading of all the secretary's report. Next item,
Can I ask for a point of information before we proceed?
sure,
Based on what happened in the previous meeting, is it, and I don't have less reasons for it, can we amend these committee meetings if we find anything wrong with them? Can we go back and amend them after,
can the,
Well, I was gonna suggest if people wanna take a look at them all and go through, and then yes, maybe you can call it. Raise the issue or something.
the motion was to waive the reading of all the report, everybody report, and waive them, we accept them, we wait up to the one. That's the motion, okay, that's what it is. Next item, please. Administrative assistant responses to parents.
Good morning again. I told during the month of October, the DS 207 individuals use the machine. This includes individuals who both at math and math and pen. This does not include the individuals who directly use the machine without inserting a paper ballot into the DS 200. Next item, high school registration and voting machine demonstration. During the board meeting of September 3rd, 2014 was instructed to reach out to the public and private schools who contacted the voters registration and machine demonstration drive. The school conducted were St. Croix Central High School, St. Croix Educational Complex, St. Joseph High School, Greenwood Baptist, Seventh Day Adventist School, IQRA Academy, and Board of Country. Below is a chart that outlines the school's participation. The only school that has not participated yet is the St. Croix Educational Complex, which will take place tomorrow at 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. During the high school registration, only at Bodo, there was 2 registrations.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
and I'm thinking that in the report, that we can just get the substantial information excluding the charts. I think that would be sufficient.
You see the one, all information about the.
No, I'm just saying that this substantive, just the highlights of the report instead of reading all the charts and all.
No problem.
You can motion to do it.
So move.
Section. Roll call. State the motion for Mr. Williams.
Motion was to only include the substantive portions of the admin report, excluding the job information.
You okay? You sure?
Mr. Devon and Bertrand, Raymond Molina, these are smart. We have a lot of them. So we put the roster in. Yeah. And then what's that now? So we don't deal with it. Yes. We have a time.
So keep reading.
So what happened?
Three yes, 3 no, 1 not voting.
So we have to keep reading.
Keep reading.
Go to country school, the date was Monday, September 15, 2014. There was 2 new registrants. The number of individuals who used the new voting machines was 12. ICRA Academy, Wednesday, September 17, 2014, 0 new registrants, 30 individuals used the machine. St. Christ 7-day Adventist School, Thursday, September 18, 2014, 0 individuals registered and 60 used the machine. St. Christ Central High School, Thursday, September 25th, 2014, 0 students registered and 0 students take part. The reason due to that, we left early on that day since it was practically a bad day, but most of the students and the faculty was out to a funeral and had bad weather. So we didn't stay the time that we had given them. St. Joseph High School, Friday, September 26th, was 0 new registered and 35 students used the machine. St. Croix Educational Complex High School, Thursday, October 2nd, 2014. Again, that is tomorrow. Next, we're moving on to the clubs and organizations, association and trade voter registration demonstration of the new voting machines. For the month of October, the St. Croix District Board of Election registered 47 electors. This month, we actually have 3 demonstration requests. One is from the Sunshine Shopping Center, which should be attached to every board member's package I give them.
Wait for
Excuse me. If I may, I think you made a correction here. You have for the month of October, you just started in October, that should be September.
Oh.
That's
So for the month of September, the St. Croix Board election registered 47 electors. This month, there is 3 organizations that requested a demonstration. And for this month is the Sunshine Shopping Center, Alexander Henderson Elementary School. Alexander Henderson School was discussed in the last meeting. The date and the letter, which everybody has, it says September 16th, but that's actually on September 16th they're conducting a forum with the candidates and was brought to my attention by Member Ross. So I had to contact Ms. Francis at the school, and the date she would like to have the board come to demonstrate how to talk about the voting process and show the students how to use the voting machine would be October 9, 2014. And then New Life Senior Resort, which last month in August, Mr. Williams and Member Brian were there at the I don't want to say people home, the independent people living home, and many of them, they thought they was registered, so they filled out absentee ballots, and they're unable to come to our office to register to the board, so they're wondering if the board to give them just 1 hour of the time. There's at least 5 of them who would like to register to vote. And since the deadline is October 5th, they would like to know if on Saturday while we're here, we could have at least 2 board members go right there and register them for 1 hour.
I'm sorry, I missed where, this is what.
he's under the Alexander Henderson.
And I just got this started this morning, New Life Senior Resort.
New Life City.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Any question about that?
Any volunteers for further?
I'm not gonna be here, sir. I'm not gonna be here.
Mr. Molina? Anyone more? And Mr. Marcel?
Oh, Jesus.
I'll go.
The next?
One more thing. Remember letter forwarded to the new women's democratic.
Okay, too much.
Women's democratic club.
You been there, Alex?
Oh, I forget.
You got it.
That was sent to you.
Put a letter in. You have it, then. We'll finish that, then we'll go on.
The 2014 National Expo, it was on Saturday, September 27, 2014. The election system of Virginia and conduction of the board of elections conducted the 2014 National Expo. The overall expo was a success. During that day, the board registered 42 new electors. Next item on the agenda, joint board meeting. The joint board meeting is scheduled for the joint board meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, October 7th at the St. Thomas Election Office Conference Room at 10 a.m. On Monday, September 29th, I sent out an email containing the draft agenda asking the board members for input, and I'll distribute the final agenda once I receive it.
Mr. Chair. And that's why I didn't waive the reading of the report, because here it is again, yet still again, and I'm gonna register my complaints with the chairperson, because why are we continuously bumping? We met here as a joint board earlier last month, sometime last month. Everyone confirmed that they could make an October 16th meeting before St. Thomas left. Because of her individual, personal, whatever, unilaterally the meeting was changed to October 8th. Somewhere the administrative assistant sent out the note, and several members here said that they could make that. Now, unilaterally, the meeting is being changed again.
To October 7th.
I have a major, because the attorney can't make it. They get more than one assistant attorney general. You know, that is nonsense. I don't know if anybody else feels the same way, but how do we just continue to do this nonsense day after day, time after time?
Because Mr. Williams, health members continuously allow Mr. Wells and Mr. Watlington to dictate when and have a joint board meeting. I remember some time ago, Ms. Wells said she couldn't come because she had to make an appointment, and she had in 2013 with a doctor. She was still alive and mental. Come back again, the change meeting date. One time Ms. Mohed was trying to keep a meeting. She got in touch with them again, they said they can't come.
No, that's not what happened.
Well,
They actually had, wait a minute, so the record's correct. 3 members said they could come, and then the day before the meeting, somebody backed out, which really ticked me off. Because, right, because you commit to come and then
3 days before, or even the shift meeting. So they will continue to go on with that. They continue. Yes, sir.
Recognize me?
Sure.
Motion? My motion is to get a consensus of the district board for moving the meeting, the joint board meeting back to October 16th. So move.
Objection. Mrs. Fox, you have something to say?
I have a concern. The issue is the early voting policy. We need to discuss that before the date. And so you need to relook your dates. I'm not saying which date to pick, but if you do the 16th and we have to implement the 17th or the 18th, maybe an issue, because the joint board never going to agree on it at the first meeting. So we need to put some room in there for either we're going to do it or we're not going to do early voting. That's my only concern. So we're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. But we send it out. I'm getting feedback, so you go have it in advance, and then the staff going to meet, and then we're going to discuss our internal policies. But because this is something new and the first time we're trying to get it as right as possible, especially the dates and times. So we need to look at that. You have copies in your folder. You can look at it over the weekend, look at it tonight, send your recommendations. And
I think Mrs. Williams, too, in conjunction with what Mrs. Fox said, the timetable of 2 weeks needs to get the cutoff of the voting, so you can have the individuals properly flagged, so you don't end up with people or you voting.
Well, but those dates are set.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with our meeting, but I appreciate what she's saying. So I got to wait till I'm going to speak to it. I'm willing to amend my motion and my decision.
Well, just with respect to the comment that you made, Mr. Chair, with respect to St. Thomas always changing meetings. The problem is not just that they change meetings, but that we go along with their change. They will continue to change meetings if, when they say jump, we jump, and that's what happens. So, the public can look at it as we're being obstructive if we don't show up at a meeting after they've changed it, but if we don't take control of it, then we'll never have control of it. So we can, be bad-mouthed one way, or we can, exercise some control, and some may never be responsible to their call. I mean, they can't always dictate what's going on, which has happened because, again, given the last example, we had 3 people that committed, which is all we need from one side, and then the day before, one of those people called me up and said, I'm not coming to the meeting. I said, well, thanks. So that's what happened. So every time we try to call a meeting, the same thing happens.
Can I amend the motion? Is that possible?
You were saying something, Mr. Ross?
Well, I just wanted to go on record. I agreed on the 16th. I agreed on the 8th. but I can't make it on the 7th. I moved by 9th round to accommodate the joint board, but I can't do it on the 7th.
Can we,
I don't know whether or not we have 3 members to attend, but I can't do it on the 7th.
can we have a consensus? Withstanding what the supervisor said, because if we were to meet on the 16th, that's a Thursday, early voting starts on the 17th, if I'm not mistaken.
Just in
Well,
case,
it's over the last of 2 weeks out, so.
and just in case another said that they say they can come and stop at the same thing.
Yeah. So,
I don't have no problem with the 8th and the 7th and those things. I'm saying, when they keep it, I can go. I'm saying, sometime we would go and they will not come up. The only way to get it work is when they said that the meeting, go to it and see who don't come. Then the media will write and report right what happened. The media don't write what happened. They just said the meeting was canceled. They don't explain why it was canceled. If we have 4 or 6 people going to St. Thomas for meeting, they don't come. They will know that 6 or 7 of all of us was there and the St. Thomas board wasn't available. And ask them why they weren't there. But it continues to appear that we ain't going when in fact they were the one that told Mr. Mohammed they weren't available. Because the Monday they went to St. Thomas meeting, when it was discussing whether Mr. Well had a right to sign certification, when the Tuesday was the next day, they disappeared.
but I want to amend my motion to change the date from the 16th to the 14th. Can we get a consensus on that from our board? That's on Tuesday. Bearing in mind what the supervisor has recommended.
So all the voting begins on the 7th
The
to
17th.
14th.
This, you got 17, 2 weeks from November 1, yeah, the 18th.
I think the best time is 7th. How much of us can be here on the 7th and 8th?
I can't be on none of those.
3, 4 of us still here.
But he can't be on one of those.
You only 3 of us. Maybe 3 people on each session.
Which means that they're gonna be forward.
My statement on the record,
Yes, ma'am.
I agree with Member Mohan. If we continue submitting ourselves to their really days, this, that day, we're gonna continue having the thing. If we say we cannot make it at the 8th and 3 people appear, so we again allowing them to take control of the board. I think that we, as a member of this district, will need to stand up and say enough is enough. We cannot make it, 7 of us don't go. And the public and the media have to support us somehow, because if not, we're gonna continue submitting ourselves to their rules, and then what, you know?
You know,
3 people make the quorum, and then 4 of us are absent. Why? For whatever reason.
You know, it's frustrating when we can't talk to this case because I have been to try for meeting right here. When for no one think we're going to something here, when the research and dollars are changing. So it'll be the same thing. So because of that, we vote for agreement something here, when the say don't want it, we join the agreement.
You'll never get a true vote when they keep doing that.
What am I gonna do?
I have a motion on the floor.
The motion is what?
I amend my motion to the 14th of October.
Mr. Fox, you said something?
That doesn't give.
That's what
Well, I'm
Go ahead.
in deference to supervisor and staff. That doesn't give the supervisor and
We
staff
need-
enough time to prepare with all the voting.
And we need to get advertisement on, and it takes a week to get the daily news.
Okay, all right. I
So I
8 or 9, you don't be able to 8 or 9.
I withdraw my motion. I am only one member. I withdraw my motion.
my
I withdraw my motion.
Who was the second?
Lisa.
Yeah, you second.
If you withdraw the motion, my second is
You could continue.
my understanding, Mr. Chair, from the correspondence, is that the reason why it was changed from the 8th to the 7th is because the attorney was not available.
You should tell me.
They assign as
They're assigned to the board.
You don't know that.
I understand. Because of the importance of making a decision on all your voting, I committed myself to go on the 8th. That I think we should tell them to have the meeting on the 8th. Let us, if we deal with nothing else on that day, let us deal with the issue of early voting. All the other items on the agenda, as a friend of mine, a family member of mine is post-pass. They can be delayed, but all the voting has to be done.
Will you making a motion for that?
I move that this board request that the meeting on the 8th, the meeting go back to the 8th, notwithstanding the absence of the attorney.
Second.
Hold on a second. If I might add, the attorney general have another attorney to say.
That's their problem. I don't need an attorney to make a vote yes or no.
Don't call.
Objection?
Any objection?
Hang on, I'm sorry. No, no.
But he regularly goes to the regular. The motion to have the meeting on 8th without any objection, so ordered.
That's what they said.
Point of clarification. And when they say they're not having it the 8th, y'all are going on the 7th, right? So
No, no, no.
no, I'm asking because otherwise the motion is a joke. No, but seriously.
Well,
let's be more
the motion,
committed.
I appreciate the description. The motion is a statement.
Okay.
Okay, it's a statement. Not like,
When the 7th comes, I know that we have it. The 7th of us will be coming on the 8th, as agreed before, was never the same performance until the 8th.
I'm
And the
not
last
gonna-
minute
I'm not
change.
gonna be there on the 8th. So I had knee surgery and my
I
doctor,
appreciate that.
that's when
But I-
I go
but I-
for follow-up with
But I
that.
assume you appreciate the
My
fact,
health comes first.
And we appreciate that.
for me, that comes first too.
So you got 6 of us will be on the 8th.
No,
No,
I
only
said from the
four.
beginning I wouldn't be here, and he's
1, 2,
traveling, so
3,
you have 4 people.
The 4 of us will go.
Well,
And
we need to deal with the early voting. And if we go to St. Thomas and that's the only thing we deal with, we need to deal with the policy of early voting. All the other items on the agenda can be postponed.
Are we going to tell them to address one particular item or the voting? That's what we said.
Well, I'm going because I want to address the issue of early voting.
And I'm saying if we vote on that and we agree that it should be only the only voted item on the agenda, that's how we use it. We're not going to address something else. Is that what you said?
No, I'm
You
not
said
saying
only
that.
the only voted.
I'm going because I want to address the early voting.
And we're going to tell them that we comment specifically for that only voted on the agenda. Any other things you say you want to postpone it?
I don't recall what else was on the agenda.
That's right.
So I'm hesitant to answer the question.
Mr. Chair, through the chair to the supervisor,
No, I got the email that she sent yesterday, that's what I wanted to go through. So this is what she had for the proposed agenda. Reports, you want a report from the St. Croix report, the St. Thomas report. Supervisor report, you want Dr. Coverdale to give a written report. Personnel committee assignment, early voting, ballots, general election, pending litigation, and executive session if necessary. That was what she had.
The only item that needs to be
We have some
addressed,
other general election items that need to be addressed.
joint vote. Like joint vote.
like such as the chair to the supervisor, such as
I'll have to take what is
Well,
missing.
whatever has to do.
Unless it's policy, that's
Okay.
what it is.
I'm not interested, Mr. Chair.
What do you mean?
I'm not interested in going to St. Thomas and Mr. E, listen to the reports. Okay, email them to me, I'll read them. I want to go and deal with the policy as it relates to early voting, which will not occur unless the joint board meets and makes some policy decisions. The legislature, subject, I assume, to the governor's signature, passed early voting amendments last night. So we got to be prepared. We asked for it, it's coming our way, we got to be prepared. The rest of the stuff, send me an email.
So then it is that the only item we want to address is all we voted on the 8th.
For me,
What?
So is that your motion, so we can get this council?
no, I'm not limiting, I'm not setting the agenda. Trust me. I am saying I'm going for all the voting.
So then when
At 8.
if they call the meeting at 8, some one of us have to make a motion to be here to address only voting. And if it passes,
Once we
7
get,
votes.
once we get to the meeting.
There's a way to get to it.
Well, the reason why, the reason why I'm not saying that now, because I don't want to scuttle the meeting. Okay? Or the voting may be important to me and some of us in this room, but listen to a report from Methuselah may be important to somebody else. I'm not interested in their report. I'm interested in how they're voting. But I want them to come, and Methuselah report is on the agenda. So I'm not gonna-
May I ask for a point of clarification? Once you move the agenda to says early voting, the first item, what are you gonna do after that? You're gonna walk out or break the quorum?
Whatever the agenda is. If I'm there, I'm there, but I'm not saying here from
You
now.
don't want to disclose what he's going to do with the meeting.
Thank you.
That's what he's saying, and you want him to publicize it. God have mercy.
Can we call the previous question, please? Was there an objection to this?
Yeah, I made a motion.
Motion that we request that the meeting on the 8th be held.
What? Yeah.
I appreciate the fact that the 16th is too late. So, we gotta do one.
Any objection, 8? Hearing none, so on, we just send correspondence. Next item.
The administrative assistant public, has completed it.
Just
There's one more item.
Two more items.
Wait, before you do that, this is not, I'm a little bit out of character. Under national I have been noticing that correspondence coming out of the election system basically refers to the election system and the board. The election system is all of us. It includes the officer, the supervisor, and the boards. So we should make a distinction between the election system and the board, as if the board is different or outside the election system. So if I was writing, if I was writing that sentence on the National Expo, I would have said the officer, the supervisor in conjunction with the board, or I would just say the election system, period. But we have, trust me, there are people in the public out there that wants to know, is there a difference between the election system and the board? No. The election system is made up of the officer, supervisor, and the boards. So you can't, when you promote the process, you can't make a distinction. You should not make a distinction. That's just my observation. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Can I qualify that now?
Yes, you may.
You can't make a distinction with respect to what Member Ross is talking about, but you can make a distinction when you're talking about the responsibility of the election system versus the board. Because those responsibilities don't rest with the supervisor.
Well, the election, when you make a distinction between the officer, the supervisor,
Right.
and the board.
Right. So, and that's where the public is confused all the time. They mesh the two in one instance and separate the two in another.
Last, one more. As Tuesday, September 3rd, our invoice I have received has already been processed. Board members should have received at least 2 stipend checks out of last week. Please contact me. Thank you. If you haven't received your stipend check. And one more thing, I forget to add for my report. I have some personal matters that I have to review on the 10th and 13th of October, so I would like to take those 2 meetings off, which is a Friday and a Monday. No. Absolutely not.
Say that one more time. I didn't hear you.
That's the 10th and the 3rd.
Tara, only two you
Have to be
need? I can
off.
give you
Yeah,
a
you can't
week.
work those.
That's the thing, Miss Pat told me a week, so.
Nothing, but he's just telling us he needs personal leave. Okay, before requesting personal leave,
10th hour.
Chair,
talk to
Mike.
you Friday and Monday.
Okay.
About 13 is a holiday.
Yeah. He's-
We don't want to do a demonstration for Saturday, on the 11th. Am I
Of October?
Yeah, it's where, for an elderly home or something.
That's October 5th.
Fifth.
Yeah.
Oh,
Before that, I'm sorry, 4th. This Saturday.
This Saturday. Oh.
Yes.
Okay, so I think I'm in the 7th or the 8th, but.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, sir.
Motion to accept the administrative assistant report as corrected.
I have an amendment, I have, Mr. Tiro is done. I wanted to state in this report that based on the motion that we made that we should advertise in 4 radio station, 2 in Spanish and 2 in English. One was done September 19. Tiro and myself went to Popular Station, which is one of the Spanish stations. We did a whole hour demonstration of the machines and
And the radio?
also in the radio. Well, we were going step by step while the radio host was demonstrating step by step, and we had a lot of questions came in, and I felt it was very successful because based on the questions that people called in, we were able to explain to them several things that were misconception to them. So I want to add that to this report. Let me know.
Mr. Terry, got information from you, we
Just highlighting it.
Well, it's not here, so I thought it would be here as part of
we
this.
go for Mr. Terry, we can have, good luck.
Well, I'm not gonna wait for that. I am moving to accept the report as my seconded.
I move it. I may suggest move it as amended by, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna amend the,
A report.
To add the information about the
Add the
My
radio.
global report.
Spanish.
the man who read the man who read the report, we need to include it in the report. He didn't include it, I don't amend the report, I can see what it is.
Doesn't matter. If you, I was just trying to help. If you accept the report that he submitted it, then her contribution to the report would be left out. So I was just trying to make it possible for,
He's actually put something that he didn't, so he was there, right?
yes, he was.
If he was there, he rated it, the original, he rated it, so he come back and ask it.
All right, can we move on?
I call the previous question, let's
We have moved to
accept the report as presented.
As amended or as
He said presented.
As presented. But I'm wrong, I don't
Died, there was no second. No, I just said objection. I said second.
Roll call to accept the third report.
There was no
That's the-
second.
Seconded.
There was no second, the motion died for lack of a second. And Zero is back.
Mr. Terrell is the consolidated and Mr. Neal that will be committed or forget to include the registration with the roll call. No, that's not okay.
Discrimination.
That was sabotage.
No,
Oh,
it's-
Jesus.
It was-
I just omitted by error, that was bad.
Can you
So
tell us
we
the
did,
record?
we went on Popular Radio Station at 9 a.m. to 10 a.m.
September 19th.
September 19th, and Balado spoke to the Hispanic communities.
That's a fun.
Yes, and we have a recording already if anybody wants to listen to it.
I move that the report as presented by the administrative assistant in conjunction with information provided by Member Gallardo be accepted. So moved.
Any objections or whatever? Get the supervisory report, please.
Again, good morning. Expectation for today. Every single thing that has ever happened in your life is preparing you for a moment that is yet to come. We are 23 days, 20 hours, and 50 minutes away from election. 33 days. Correspondence, I believe that the report we have none. I received a correspondence this morning from VI Action Group, similar to the request we received before August primary, and I'll read it. I think the chair should have gotten a copy.
You don't need to read everybody.
You got a copy?
Yeah.
Put it.
No, I got it.
You got it by email.
Everybody here.
You good?
Copy here, we want to get copies. The request for VI Action Group to have access to video coverage in the conference room. Similar to what we had last time when you talked about some of the incidents that happened in August. You're going to get copies? So get a copy and then we'll discuss it at the ending.
Good.
We get a copy. Unfinished business, audit report. We still need a date for the audit report. So I know the chair have it on his agenda because that ties into me, which will be number 3. Also, we need a spoiled ballot report. We haven't gotten a count of how many spoiled ballots from the school this week polling place. So I need that report also. And this audit report ties into the jump drives that we need back to start programming for the general election. So again, as soon as the board is finished with the jump drives, I'd like to get them hopefully this week. And they too can start programming and coding them for the general election.
If you really mean the board, who are the?
Terrell has the lack of the jump drive with the tape because that's to do the audit. But for now, you don't really need the jump drive because if you take the reports that we had, the election results came from the jump drive. So that's my recommendation. And then you do the tape and you do the ballots on a ballot box. That's when you do your audit. So we need to get that done. So as soon as you tell him turn them over to me, then I'll get them back. The same in St. Thomas.
I have a question. Why is it, I'm asking the other board members this, why is it that an assistant to the board is holding the jump drives when the supervisor of elections is the custodian of the records? I'm asking the board members. Is that something that we, I don't recall, that's why I'm asking. There was no vote. You're the chair of the supervisor.
Why this is different in this instance is because of the audit. So the
No,
chair,
the question is-
no, I'm saying both districts kept all the election equipment until they finished with the audit. That's
So
what
what authority?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And it has nothing to do with an audit. We don't, that's not our province, it's not our responsibility. And if things cannot be done without a board vote, if there was no board vote to do that, somebody, whoever, decided to do that, and apparently the chair wasn't aware of it. I certainly wasn't aware of it. To me, that leads to lots of possibilities of liability, and this is not, no, I'm not denigrating Mr. Alexander, but it's like, we need to be conscious of our role. If there's no board vote for something, it doesn't happen. Well, it does happen, it shouldn't happen, and if it does happen, it's illegal, and the board has liability issues. We don't have any insurance, and I am not going down with anyone.
I'm not going down.
No, everybody thinks it's a joke, but the legal responsibilities that we have, well, the audience apparently thinks it's a joke.
I think I can recall in St. Thomas, Ms. Eden Hendricks made a motion that some drive would be the official record of the election. Then some people forget it was damaged to make a motion, and it ended up that way. So when that happened, the question is who authorized some drive to held position of the administrative assistant, which would be Mr. Terrell, Mr. Borges. We had that discussion. I I know the last time I saw from driving is when I was here, you say, and when the technician was there, so.
Right, and
I
then
have
chain of
a-
custody issues, and I understand they've been locked up, and I'm not questioning his integrity, but these are things that are very, very delicate.
Well, maybe we can make have a motion made that he turn over Pool's case to supervise the election.
So moved.
Second.
Hearing no objection, so what?
That's a jump, right?
That's what's crazy, we didn't have anything else to do with that. No reason for them to be in the possession.
So then they, after the official meeting,
I would suggest not to use the complex. I don't even think the complex worked very well for the
No.
training. I mean, just the setup and everything else, it was not the best location. The bathrooms are nasty, which is a shame for our students, but we need to take people there. I'm just suggesting we use something else.
That's because they're on summer vacation, they're trying to shape.
Yeah, right, that's not.
Mr. Chair.
yes, sir.
I took the opportunity to speak to, I asked a question of the supervisor earlier, but I know one of the schools that I'm assigned production, the issue with the ramp. I took the opportunity to speak to the maintenance director about repairing the ramp at Jimmy Rivera. So I don't know if anybody else has anything that they need to address to him. Because I don't know that it's going to be effective to just send them the report and expect them that they're going to cover everything. I think we need to take it a step further and have those specific conversations to make sure that the polling places are going to be ready. And the last thing I have, if I may, question them is, well, I don't know if there was any consideration given for the exposition that we had on Saturday. I am through the chair, and my motion is to direct the supervisor to prepare a letter. A congratulatory letter to the volunteers that worked along with us on Saturday. I don't know if that's something you consider, but I want to formalize it in a motion that a letter of commendation, that's the word, a letter of commendation to be sent to all the volunteers that assisted us on Saturday. So moved.
The objection?
Question, that includes the paid volunteers.
Right, that's what I was gonna say.
We had paid volunteers.
Were they volunteers, was my
Not
question.
everybody was.
So if they weren't
You check,
volunteers,
sir. You check.
they weren't volunteers, I'm not congratulating them on getting paid.
Well, I didn't know that. My bad.
Well, they may be,
So they pay some of them,
they may have had volunteers and they may
they have
have
some
paid.
paid and some volunteers.
I just don't know.
Good. Well, that's what I got to do.